Hello, it's me, Kathy. I know it's been like, I don't know, probably 10 months since I last did a video. Well, a whole lot has happened, but as you can see, I'm still large. Anyways, I've been through countless doctor's appointments, countless counseling appointments, you name it. I've been. Anybody out there going through the weight loss surgery knows that it's like a year-long process from the first referral to when you actually get a surgical date. Well, pardon me. I had my appointment with a surgeon in Toronto last Friday on the 18th. And I got my final okay for the surgery. And the only problem is, now we don't know if it's going to be the Roux-en-Y gastric bypass or the sleeve. And that kind of sucks, because I'm all ready for the bypass, the Roux-en-Y. I know everything that I need to know. I'm prepared with menus and shopping lists and, information and what I can eat and when I can eat it, and I'm all ready for that. And now, all of a sudden, he throws in the sleeve, which basically is just, let me see if I can find my paper. You'll hear some scratching. That's the cat scratching at the door. They don't like the fact that the door is closed, and they let me know it quite often. Anyways, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but get a little closer here. This is your stomach, and what they do is they just cut out like over half of your stomach. They staple it basically. So I think it's probably akin to the stomach stapling that they did years and years ago that apparently, didn't work. I think my father had one actually. What they cut out his ulcers and did a basic stomach stapling and took about half of his stomach completely off. And of course, without training and without counseling and without, proper nutrition instruction, guess what? He stretched his stomach right back out to normal size. So it's not the best surgery, in my opinion, if you're not, it can work for you, but it's just not one of the tools that I wanted in my arsenal. You know what I'm saying? But if that's what I have to do, that's what I have to do. And I'll make it work. I will make it work. He said that I could go back later on and get the bypass. So that option is still open to me. I still have lymphedema, obviously. It never goes away. I will always have it for the rest of my life. It has become uncontrollable at this point. I have been retaining so much water. The last bout of cellulitis I had took me almost 3 months to get rid of it. I was in and out of the hospital. I was on an IV where they put a central line in your arm. Right here, as a matter of fact, is where they put the line in, and it goes up your arm, through your shoulder, and down directly into your heart. And it's because the antibiotic IV is so strong that a normal vein can't handle it. So they have to put it through a central line directly into your heart, and then it gets pumped out to your system. And I had to carry around a pump with me, in a fanny pack. That was beautiful. And every 2 hours it dosed me, and then once a day the nurses came and changed the bottle, and it was a nightmare. It was a complete nightmare. I was so incredibly sick. The cellulitis was so bad that just a sheet on my legs, and I was screaming in pain. They were fire red. They hurt so bad. But anyways, I gained almost 30 pounds of water with that one infection, which meant that my brand new $2,000 thigh-high compression stockings didn't fit, because my left thigh went from something like a 30 to a 42 inch. It's huge. I think I'm down to a 38 now. My left thigh is 38 inches around. That is just insane. So I can't wear my thigh highs. So it's just out of control. Just out of control. So anyways, I finally have my surgery date. May 1st. Which means April 3rd, I start my OptiFast. Which means I will be on liquid for my birthday, which is April 20th. So, but that's okay. I mean, it's like, oh, I'm going to be on OptiFast for my birthday, but then it's like, yay, I'm going to be on OptiFast for my birthday. So, it's a double-edged sword. I'm happy, I'm sad. I'm saying a lot, aren't I? Oh well. So I told my husband that either on April 1st or April 2nd, we will celebrate my birthday, and I will get my, quote-unquote, last meal for a long time. So, but I'm looking forward to it. I really want to get things started and, just get the ball rolling and start losing some weight and open up my lymphatic system so the water can leave and the fat can go away and I can start to live a normal life. I mean, for crying out loud, I am almost 53 years old. Oops, did I say that? Shoot, I guess I did. Anyways, yeah, I'm getting up there in years, and I won't make it to 60 if I stay this weight. I'm just not going to make it. This is a do-or-die surgery. Absolutely. So, anyways, that's the good news. My husband and I took a trip to Wisconsin for Christmas this year, or last year, and spent almost a week with my mother, my sister, and her husband. And gosh, we had a good time. We had a great time. I loved seeing my mom. I hadn't seen her in years, and it was awesome to spend time with her. But I found out that being 52 years old, I don't like being mothered. And she mothered the crap out of me. Holy cow. It was smothering, and I had forgotten, because I had been away from her for so long, that I'd forgotten what it was like to be under the thumb of a very dominant, very domineering woman. Although I am one. So, anyways, it was a trial, to say the least. But Christmas Day was absolutely fabulous. My husband napped in the bedroom all day. My brother-in-law spent the day down in his man cave with his uncle. My sister, once we got dinner in the oven, she went to sleep on the couch. And Mom and I played cards all freaking day long. All day long. She loved playing cards, and her and I used to play cards all the time when I lived with them. So that was really fun. That was a lot of fun. We had a good time. So Christmas Day was just awesome. Dinner was fabulous. The conversation was awesome. There were no family arguments. None. It was really great. It was really, really great. The day after Christmas, my husband and I came home, and a couple of days later I got a phone call from my sister saying that Mom wasn't feeling well, and they were going to be keeping an eye on her. And then a few hours later I got a call saying that she was running a fever and they were going to take her to the hospital. And the next day I got a call saying that she was in ICU. And my sister let me talk to her. She could barely talk. She was really, really sick. So I got to say I love you. I got to say goodbye. And then the next morning, my mother passed away. And it was really hard because, you know, Mom and I were pretty close. And I called her on the phone every day. I mean, every day I would call her on the phone. And we would talk for, you know, however long we wanted to. And I used to tap into that immense knowledge, that just wealth of knowledge and information that she had and experience. And it was just, I don't know, it was great, you know. And I miss that so much now because I can't just pick up the phone and call her. I can't just, you know, say, hey, Mom, how do you make mincemeat cookies? You know, what's the word? I can't just call her anymore and say hi. We're getting a lot of snow today. What about you? And that really hurts. But I knew she wasn't going to live forever. Sorry. I was just hoping she'd last long enough to see me after I had the surgery and see me after I lost weight. But she broke a promise to my husband. My husband made her promise that she would stick around at least until after I lost some weight and she could see me thinner. And she said she would, and then 5 days after we left her, she died. It was like, you know, you kind of feel, I don't know, I'm angry with her, and I'm sad. But anyways, when I found out she died, all these regrets started flooding my brain. You know, like, I shouldn't have yelled at her when she said this, and I shouldn't have said no to that, and you know, I should have just shoulda, woulda, coulda, and it was making me nuts. And so I have a little story to tell you. But I'm going to stop this video for a second so that I can collect myself. And I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Anyways, I have a story to tell you. When I was, gosh, my early to mid-20s, I think, or maybe even, I think early 20s. I was working at a grocery store. I had actually attained part-time management status with this company. They're no longer in business now, but anyways, I was walking past the meat department, the meat case, one night after closing up, and I found a ring on I saw something sparkly, so I bent down and picked it up, and it was a diamond engagement ring. It was a really small stone, in a round setting that makes it look like it's bigger than it is. So I picked it up and I tacked it up on the bulletin board in the office. And, this is back in the early 80s where, if you found something and no one claimed it, it was yours. It didn't matter what it was. This is a diamond ring. Of course, we didn't know it was real, So I tacked it up on the bulletin board in the office and said, if nobody claims it in 2 weeks, it's mine, because I found it. Well, 2 weeks went by, and nobody claimed it. So I took it, and I went to a jewelry store and got it tested, and it was real. It was actually a pretty high-quality diamond, even though it was very small. It was close to being colorless, so it was a really good cut. It was a really nice diamond, really nice stone. The sparkle was amazing from this little stone. Well, it was a really small ring, and at that point I had no use for it, and my mother had lost her engagement ring, so I gave it to her. And I said, here, Mom, I found this at work, and would you like it? And she put it on, and it fit, and she wore it for, well, she just never took it off. She always wore that ring. It was, So I was really happy. She was really happy. Years went by, and then, I don't know, about 6 years ago, 5 years ago, she moved from New York to Wisconsin, and she said, my father had died, and she gave her wedding band to one of my sisters, and she said, would you like this ring back? You were the one that gave it to me, so I want to give you first option of taking it back. And I said, sure. Yeah, I'd love to have it back. So I took it, and I thought about getting it sized, and I said, nah. I didn't really know what to do with it, but it had belonged to Mom, so, I kept it. Well, then, my husband and I got married, and we didn't have a ring for me to use to get married in. My husband is using my grandfather's wedding band that I got after he passed, but I didn't have a ring, and we didn't have money for me to get a ring. So we went around looking at pawn shops and found a ring, actually, let me grab them. So we found this ring. See if you can see it here. Is it going to focus? Maybe not. It's a 3-stone ring. And it's just a small band. And it fit right out of the case. So we bought it. It was fairly inexpensive. It was a little bit more than we wanted to spend, but it fit and it was beautiful and I loved it. So there was another part of the ring though that went with it. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you that part. Let me try to put it on and show you like this. That's the other part. So, we didn't have the money for it. It wasn't very expensive, but we just didn't have the money. So I called my mother and I asked her, would you mind if we took your diamond ring, that diamond ring that I had given you, and took it to the pawn shop and traded it in on the other part to my wedding set? And she said, oh, go ahead, no problem, go ahead and do it, and if that's what you want that other part, then just go ahead and do that. So then this is the wedding set that I ended up with. It looks like a wrap with the engagement stone in the center. Couldn't have been happier. Then my mother died. And I remembered that ring and how much she loved it. And how much she made sure that I got it back. And what did I do with it? I took it to the pawn shop like it was nothing. And I got another piece of jewelry. Why? I was so overrun with guilt and regret and shame and anger and sadness. I was just feeling all these things at once because look what I had done to that ring. So my husband said, come on, let's go back to that pawn shop and see. And I'm like, it's been 3 years. There is no freaking way that that ring is still going to be at the pawn shop. And he said, I know the chances are slim, but let's go and look anyways, come on. And I think he thought that just me going and looking would somehow help me, I don't know. But I started, there was like 5 cases of engagement rings. And she started bringing them up on the table one at a time. I knew I'd know the ring the minute I saw it. No question about it. So she brought up another case. I looked through it. Nope. Another case. Nope. The last case that she had, the last tray of rings that she had in the case, and I found it. This is the ring that I found on the floor in a supermarket. And this is the ring that I gave to my mother. And the good Lord said, nobody's going to buy that ring. And you're not going to believe this either. The exact amount of money that we got for this ring is exactly what we paid for it when we just picked it up. How's that for a story? I just can't tell you how much this means to me that I have this ring. And I'll never size it. I'll never take it out of this beautiful case. It's always going to be here. And I feel whole. I feel so much better because I have it now. So, to wrap up, my surgery is May 1st. I will definitely keep you posted. When I start the OptiFast, I'll probably, do a video and let y'all know how crappy it is. And then after I meet the anesthesiologist on April 17th, and then the surgery on May 1st. And I'm so excited. I can't wait. So, take care. Thank you for watching. And I will talk to you all again very soon. Bye-bye.